And at this point, I will add the chipotles. So I'm just gonna close my eyes and think this is chipotle. Yes, it's chipotle. Yes, lots of chipotle. Listen, there's nothing wrong with this sauce. I love this sauce. I love it.
A lot of you guys have been asking for different things to review, so today we're going to be seeing Epicurious make some burritos. My name is James Makinson. I've been cooking for many years in the US, England, France, and Spain, and I have plenty of other recipes on my YouTube channel, not just reaction videos. If you do want to help support the channel, then make sure to share, like, and subscribe, and check out my other videos as well after this one. Now let's get started with the video.
And the avocado, we're going to add it to the end because I got myself. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just want these people to wake up. Hi, I'm Saul. I'm a professional chef, and this is $113 burrito.
I've never had a burrito for 113 bucks before. Never. But Saul has some very nice ingredients. I think he spent the most money on the steak and the shrimp. When you're in the grocery store in the US, surprisingly, even in Washington, you could find cactus. Here it's not as common. And guys, if you don't know what these little green things are in the corner, those are called tomatillos. Tomatillos, they're a little like a tomato and they have an exterior husk and you have to remove it. The easiest way to do that is by putting them in some warm water, letting them soak, and then just removing the husks. Although it is a good idea to wear some gloves because they are quite sticky.
Hi, I'm Bianca and I'm a home cook, and these are my $10 burrito ingredients.
To be honest, $10 for all the ingredients that she got is not that bad. That's a pretty good deal. But she is missing a couple ingredients. She should have, if she could have picked up some limes, that would have been good.
What I'm gonna do with this, I guess we'll find out soon.
I see this in my supermarket all the time, and obviously it's not a cactus. Oh, it is a cactus. We're putting cactus in our burrito. Okay.
Yeah, it's not plastic, it is a real cactus.
I was planning on making mar y tierra burrito, surf and turf. I had some excellent ingredients to work with. I had fresh shrimp and a grass-fed bone-in ribeye steak. Ooh. I had some pork skin and manteca to make fresh chicharrones.
He has some nice ingredients. Some of these ingredients I should be able to get here. A lot of people tend to confuse Mexican cuisine with Spanish cuisine, and they're different.
I don't really eat bacon. Shh, we're gonna keep this a secret on the low.
And you know I had cheese, queso fresco for filling.
Is that like a tongue?
And Oaxaca for frying.
Oh, it's cheese.
If you guys are in the US, you probably can get all of these ingredients, but if you don't have Oaxaca cheese, you can substitute it for like a drier mozzarella, a low moisture, and like Monterey Jack. But if you can get it, try to get it. But if you can't, at least you have some things to substitute it with.
I was gonna top it off with nopal pico de gallo, made from nopales or a cactus.
I can't say I've ever eaten a cactus. Oh my gosh, see? You gotta be careful.
Tomatoes, white onion, cilantro, pico jalapenos, oregano, and lime. I was also going to make a tres chile sauce, guajillo, morita, and chile de árbol.
He had a very nice idea on what he wanted to make today, like very nice.
I had tomatillos, plum tomatoes, garlic, and white onion.
Oh God, there's more. There's more.
And I have everything I needed for homemade tortillas. All-purpose flour, manteca, and salt.
So I have to make a tortilla. Got it?
It was gonna be the best delicious burrito. All these will probably cost about $11.85. $10? I just had a kid. I didn't get enough sleep, so I need to work on my numbers again.
We have like steak, shrimp. I'll give it like 90 to 100 for the ingredients alone. Also, it costs $113 for all of these ingredients. So we're gonna have a little luxurious afternoon lunch.
Guys, let me know in the comments down below if you have ever used cactus before. Because if the grocery stores carry it, obviously people buy it. And I'm talking about in the US, not here in Spain.
So this is Chef Saul's recipes book. He kind of played me, because he only gave me the ingredients. I have no instructions.
At least he wrote in English. It could be worse. He could have written in Spanish.
I feel like I'm doing nothing.
Bianca, I know you probably never worked with a nopal.
Oh no, okay. That's a little bit too rough.
Don't spread all the spines all over the table because you might end up, you know, dropping it on the sauce and then you eat your burrito and you have a spine and then you have spines all over your mouth. It's a mess. It's a mess.
If you want to clean this a little easier and faster, instead of holding this over a bowl with a large chef's knife and just whacking it, you may want to lay it down on the cutting board flat. Use a smaller knife, it's easier, maybe a paring knife, a sharp one and cut off the thorns. It'll be a little faster than just whacking it in midair.
Here all day chopping up a cactus. We do. We have a burrito to make. I would like to eat it for lunch. One down, one to go.
So I'm thinking Bianca is going to make grilled chicken. Guess what I'm gonna make? I'm gonna make this chicken dance. Make like a shredded chicken tinga stew. Instead of the chipotle, I'm gonna throw some jalapeno. The way to find out if it's really hot, it's by doing this. Got it and smell it. Ooh, those are spicy. If you want to make your jalapeno spicy, do this.
The best way of checking to see if it's spicy is by actually tasting it. I used to work with one Mexican chef that he used to just eat jalapenos at work like they were nothing. And I mean, some jalapenos are not that spicy. Some can be though.
Grab it on your table to have a nice spicy jalapeno. So I'm just gonna use one jalapeno in my pot right here.
So my nopales are thorn-free and they're ready to be blanched. Normally when I make a burrito, I really like things quick, easy. The blanching of the nopales takes longer than me cooking my burrito at home and eating it and watching my television show. But yeah, you know, new experiences, right?
Yeah, new experiences. It's good to learn new things. If you don't learn new things, it gets boring, doesn't it?
I'm gonna close my eyes. Don't do this at home. See? 23 years. Voila. We have our onions and jalapenos for our tinga. We're gonna throw some cilantro in here. So I'm gonna add my chicken right here. So here's my chicken for my chicken tinga. I'm gonna put it on the stove, bring it to boil, make sure it's cooked all the way through, and then shred the crap out of it. Shred it, shred it.
I think Saul would be fun to work with in the kitchen. Also guys, if you didn't notice, when he was cutting the onions, he was cutting it for different things. When you work in the kitchen, it's always good to try to save as much time as you can by prepping what you need ahead of time.
Sorry. So we're gonna take the boiling nopales and we're gonna put it in the ice cold bath.
Now when you're blanching garnish or vegetables, small vegetables, it is a good idea to put a chinois in the ice bowl so you can just take the vegetables out without having to lose them in the ice. With something this big, it's a little redundant. You don't need it because, well, it's another thing to wash. You can use it, it works, but it's another thing to wash later on.
I'm gonna leave it on the grill for a moment and get some grill marks. Now, I'm not saying that's not how it's supposed to look, but I don't know if I like it. But yeah, no slime. Oh, here's the little slime. I think this is good enough because it's bordering burnt. And we don't want that. We don't want burnt. I'm gonna chop up the nopales and then add all of the ingredients to put together my pico de gallo. Should I give it a try? You know, it has like a sour, salted taste. You know, I'm gonna give it another try when I combine all the ingredients. I have faith in Chef Saul.
It's not a very good idea to be taking the knife and, well, speaking with it like this, because you can either hurt yourself or somebody else very easily. So it's just a good rule of thumb.
As you can see, Bianca has sent me basic ingredients. And one thing that I'm going to make is pico de gallo. But I'm gonna make avocado pico de gallo. Basically simple pico de gallo. I wish I had lime. Bianca, I wish I had lime.
So now we're gonna add onions, tomatoes, jalapeno, and a little oregano, and some olive oil as well. The nopal adds a bit of like a sliminess, but it still smells pretty good.
Now I'm gonna try some cilantro. Honestly, I don't even know why they call it pico de gallo. In Mexico, they call it salsa fresca. You know what pico de gallo stands for, right? The mouth of the rooster.
That is a very good question. Why do we call it pico de gallo? Maybe it's because we add jalapenos to it and it has a little bit of a bite, and rooster's bite.
And now let's find out how good this avocado is. Oh, nice. Now I'm gonna dice it into squares. Why are we adding the avocado in the end? Because I say so. No, because we don't want to have like a smashed avocado. We want to have chunky avocado. And there you have it. Avocado pico de gallo without lime. It's okay. I'm following the rules.
You can tell that not having lime bothers him like a lot. Jalapenos, lime, cilantro, these are common ingredients in Mexican cuisine. They're not the only ones. There are many other common ingredients. These are some that at least we can get in the rest of the world. Some of the other ones, some of the specialty items, maybe not.
And now the moment of truth. You must try your making. You can't wait until the end. It needs more salt. It tastes better with salt.
So it smells pretty good.
Tasting your food is a good habit, not just at the end, but also throughout the cooking process, because like he needed just a little more salt. You wouldn't have known that if you didn't taste it. So it's a good habit to have.
All right, so my pico de gallo is done. And for this other half, your time is coming, my friend.
So we're making progress, guys. We've made it to the chicharrones. It's basically a combination of pork skin and manteca, which is rendered pork fat. Getting a little pork crazy over here.
The reason why I use chicharron is because I like to have some kind of crunchiness on my burrito.
I like the idea of adding some fried pork skin to the burrito. It's not that healthy, but I'll tell you what, that would be very tasty.
Now we're gonna add the pork skin. So, I'm gonna stand back, we don't want no casualties.
As soon as you drop the skin onto the hot manteca, you're gonna see like a flour. Like
Skin is like transforming. Oh, it's like a huge pork rind. This is a pork skin, but I'm pretty much done with it for now.
It would be a good idea to maybe add a little bit of salt mold in though to the fried pork skin at the end, just a little bit.
So Bianca just sent me some white rice. I don't want to just put plain rice on my burrito. Do I look like a plain guy? No, right? So I'm making rice con con. Basically, it's fried rice. The rice that sticks into the pan, the burnt part, is nice and crispy. Something that I learned with my wife, she's Dominican. Rice con con. That I'm saying this, my love, con con. The crunchy texture of my burrito.
It would be a good idea to use a non-stick pan when making this, or at least add enough oil so it doesn't stick to your pan, because if it does stick, you're gonna have a fun time trying to scrape it out and trying to clean the pan afterwards. So a non-stick helps.
Okay, so it looks like it's ready. So do I want to do this and flip it, or do I want to play safe? Okay. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is the best con con ever. Nice and crunchy.
So now I'm going to cook my shrimp. These are pretty jumbo. This is a jumbo shrimp.
For shrimp, we go by a size chart. And when you buy them at the grocery store, at least when you buy them from purveyors, they'll have the different sizes per pound. So you could have 21 25s, 31 35s, or so on and so forth.
They're huge. And cut it into little pieces, little dices. Why? Because you kind of want to have an even bite of the shrimp.
To season my shrimp today, I have salt, mixed garlic, and the chipotle. I want to keep the sauce on the shrimp, so I'm going to try not to move it around too much. So it reminds me of like orange chicken.
I would use chipotle a lot more if it wasn't so expensive. The last time that I needed to buy some, I had to go looking for it. I looked on Amazon, and Amazon was too much money. It was like 5 to 10 per can. And then finally I went to Carrefour and I got some, but again, I was paying like $4.55 per can.
So I already have my chicken right here. It's already boiled. Look at this beauty. Normally, I will tell you to use these two forks to kind of shred it, but I have a better trick. Use your hands. Because you control the size of your chicken breast. And there you have it. My chicken or my chicken tinga.
He's right about this. Using your hands is going to be much faster shredding chicken, shredding pork, whatever it may be, than just using some forks and trying to shred it. You have more control, you do, over the size. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, put on some gloves. And if it is still a little too hot, then another trick to do is double layer the gloves. Put on 2 sets of gloves, and that'll help protect your hands a little more.
All right, tinga time. We're just going to cook this. Again, chicken tinga goes with chipotle, but I have no chipotle, so I have to follow the rules. Son, are you watching this? Follow the rules. I'm gonna add the chicken now. Look at this, beautiful. It's kind of looks like a fajita.
I love fajitas. I'm gonna have to review them one day. Don't know when, but I'm gonna have to.
And at this point, I will add the chipotles. So I'm just gonna close my eyes and think this is chipotle. Yes, it's chipotle. Yes, lots of chipotle. Listen, there's nothing wrong with this sauce. I love this sauce. I love it.
He's having to use sriracha, but that's not a very good substitute. because you don't have that smokiness. Chipotles are jalapenos, ripened jalapenos that are smoked.
And I'm gonna add my chicken broth that we make together in the past. I'm not gonna add a lot. I don't wanna have a soggy burrito, but normally you add a lot of chicken broth. That's when you know it's ready. When it tastes delicious and it looks delicious.
I can't believe this is just lunch. This is at least 2 meals. So we're gonna let it rest a little bit to kind of finish up cooking and cool off a bit.
All right. The other half of the avocado. I'm going to make avocado sauce. I'm gonna make it happen with what I have. I'm gonna use onion for the jalapeno and cilantro.
Guacamole is pretty popular, not just in North America, also over here in Europe. So in a lot of places that I've worked, when they make guacamole, they make it into a puree, like what Saul was doing. Sometimes they even add a little bit of Tabasco. It's not the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that you can't turn it into a puree and change it. You can experiment, but it's not the style that I grew up with living in the Southwest.
I mean, who doesn't like avocado?
I'm going to be making my tres chile sauce. Arbol, morita, and guajillo.
Guajillo for texture and flavor. Morita, more for flavor. Arbol for spicy.
Whenever you're using dried chilies for a salsa, you have to rehydrate them. Now, I don't know if it's the way they edited the video or if she actually did use this at the end of the cooking process. Quick way on saving time is to take the chilies, put them into a bowl, pour some hot water in with the chilies, and then just let them rehydrate by themselves while you're cooking and making some other dishes.
Honestly, I don't know what to do. I'm not just gonna mix them. I'm gonna make sriracha crema. And this is really simple, guys. I mean, come on. It's more spicy. It's actually really good.
So, as you can see, there is a little puffiness. Woo. Actually, that was a magic moment. Okay, that was a moment.
And then you're going to take a separate pan and you're going to do a similar thing to the tomatoes and the onions and the other ingredients. Just toss them around to get them warm as well as a little bit charred. And then you take those ingredients with your chilies and put them in a blender. The vinegar is going to get the color really nicely and give a little bit of a tang.
There is no reason to be adding whole tomatoes, whole tomatillos, and garlic with chopped onions to a dry pan. You could easily put all these ingredients into a roasting tray, leave the onions in quarters or halves, pour a little bit of olive oil on, a little bit of salt, pop them in the oven, and then let them roast.
So another special moment for me, I'm going to make my own tortilla. We have flour, salt, lard. All right, so it feels a little sticky. I feel like a real chef. Let me make it dough. Who would have thought? Domesticated millennial. All right, so now we're gonna knead the dough.
That's true. It seems like people don't cook as much as they used to. Here, you'll still see the grandmas. They're at the market every day buying fresh ingredients, every single day at the bakery or at the pastry shop. I mean, you still see it.
And then cover it with saran wrap and let it sit. God. Wrap it. Dough ball. It's a little harder than I thought. So it's getting there.
One quick tip when you're doing any rolling with anything, all the extra dough balls, the bowl, the extra dough on the right, the knife, get all of this off the cutting board. Give yourself space to roll.
Excited for me? I am, because this is like a 300-step process. And we're near the end. So that's why I'm happy. Woo, yay! Look at this tortilla. Now this is a nice looking tortilla. Here's my cooked tortilla.
I wish I was making my own tortilla. So I got these tortillas from Bianca. She also sent me Monterey cheese. Yes. I'm going to do the cheese trick. What's better than cheese? More cheese. But first of all, I need to heat up my tortilla. If you don't heat up your tortilla, it will break. The cheese trick. Don't touch it.
Again, I would strongly recommend to use a non-stick pan. Otherwise, it's just gonna stick and you're gonna have a mess, like a real mess to clean up.
You know what? I'm gonna do the same thing that I did. The cheese trick. Right here, right now.
It is time to assemble my burrito. I've been working hard for this. My steak has been resting for a little bit, and now we're going to slice it up. I'm gonna put my steak first.
I'm gonna add some of this tinga, and you see that there's not that much liquid into this tinga.
The shrimp with the chipotle adobo.
We're gonna do the concon. I'm gonna do chunks of rice. Do you guys hear that? So crunchy. Since the concon is a little bit dry, it needs to have a little bit of sauce. A little bit of money got in my life. A little bit of money got in my life.
It's been a long time since I've heard that song. Like a very long time. I think that song came out in the 90s, or like at the end of the 90s. 20-something years already. Woof, time goes by quick.
Look at those colors. Look how beautiful that looks. Now I'm just gonna roll it.
I've never rolled a burrito before.
Push the ends like that.
We're gonna fold inward and wrap this around.
Pull all this inside here, and then just push towards yourself like this. And then it's gonna be so tight.
When rolling a burrito, it's very important not to overfill the thing. It's easy to do to overfill it. If there's too much product, just take a little bit out. And you want to leave it more at the bottom to where you start the rolling process, not in the middle. You don't want to put everything in the middle of the burrito. You want to put everything a little more at the base, and then follow what Chef Saul is doing.
The finishing touch, I'm gonna put it back in the pan to seal it.
And this is how you seal the deal. But wait, there is more. It's time for cheese trick part 2. So I did the cheese trick inside, now I'm gonna do it outside. And there you have it. Here's my burrito with cheese inside and outside.
I have to admit, his burrito, even now, it looks delicious.
I think I nailed it, but there's one more thing that I have to do, and that's trying this. Okay. This is not working out for me. Should I have enough of this stuff? Enough of the crema. Delicious, delicious, delicious. It's just the layers of textures too. Like I can feel the crunchiness of the concon. It's just really, really good.
So I'm team steak, team shrimp. I think they actually mix really well together. But you know what I'm coming back to. I'm back to the Nepal. The cactus, you know, it's not my favorite, but I do enjoy the steak and the shrimp and the tres chile sauce.
Well, both of them made delicious looking burritos, but obviously Chef Saul, he had almost nothing to work with, and he turned that into something beautiful. And then again, Bianca, she had the Rolls Royce of ingredients. She had a lot, and she did good. She did a good job. Let me know, guys, down below which one that you would prefer. And guys, for those of you who live in Mexico, how common are burritos? Because the Mexican chefs that I've worked with, the ones that were from more Mexico City, they told me that at home, they don't eat this, they don't make it, they don't even know how to roll a burrito. That this is more Tex-Mex, more American. If you want to see another good video, then be sure to click here and check out my other recipes and videos as well. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and subscribe if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Take care.